Hey, this is Nick Good here. Just wanted to give you a little heads up on the Gene Keys soul readings, and really what they are and why they're just so important, especially in these times that we're living in. There's a big shift going on in the world right now, and it's basically a shift away from ego-centered behavior and an ego-centered perspective on reality into a much deeper sense of self. And that we can basically call that soul consciousness. It's where the individual consciousness shifts away out of the physical human personality level and moves into a deeper sense of self, which is more connected to eternity rather than just this material world. And what the Gene Keys soul readings do is they show you how your consciousness flows into the world through the unique expression of yourself. How your consciousness, your spirit, flows through the unique Rubik's Cube, the kaleidoscope of your soul, and connects with the world. And it gives you the most amazing insight into the subtle processes that you're going through that are absolutely specific to you. It's like every single soul is like a snowflake. And that snowflake is absolutely unique. And the way that snowflake, which is made of consciousness, connects with the energy of life, well, you really need to know that. And a lot of us haven't developed the sensitivity yet to feel that. And one could say even the courage to live in harmony with that truth, the way you are feeling. So the Gene Keys gives you this real insight into how you connect to the energy of creation, how your consciousness is flowing through you, and really what are the obstacles within your own psyche that are there embedded within you through your genetics, through karma, that you are challenged to navigate within this life, that your consciousness is evolving through. And so it's a fascinating little peep. So that's just a little intro, and we'll have a look at the Gene Keys chart. Okay, so what we're looking at here is this Gene Keys chart, and the first thing you can see is there are 64 hexagrams around here, and these hexagrams correspond to the 64 codons in your DNA. What a hexagram is a combination of 6 lines, and each line is either broken or unbroken. And what it symbolizes is the vibrational nature of the energy of life. So life is vibrating in a very specific way when you're born, and that vibration is imprinted into this hexagram organization, these patterns of these hexagrams. And this we can interpret this imprint from something called the I Ching, which is ancient Chinese divination system. The other way the combination of the particular spheres are organized is defined by the Vedic astrology, which is the ancient Indian astrological divination system. So through the astrology and the way the energy of creation is vibrating at the time you were born, there's this unique pattern. And what we're actually looking at here is the way your soul connects with the world, the way you literally plug into the energy of creation, the way your consciousness, your spirit contacts the world, the way it interfaces with the energy of creation. And it's a fascinating thing. So if we look at the design of this individual, you'll see that each sphere, which is a point of contact within a certain realm of their life. For example, the top one here is the life's work, and this one here is the evolutionary process. This is the life purpose, the dharma, the style you live your life. The radiant sphere over here, really what makes you shine in life. And if we look at each individual sphere, has 3 words above it. In the case of the life's work here, there's judgment, which is in red, integrity, which is in green, and perfection, which is in blue. The red is the shadow. All the words here are in the red are the shadow world. What that world, the way the shadows are activated, is when the consciousness descends too deeply into matter, and it gets itself entangled with the density of creation, in all the karmic patterns, in all the ancestral patterning, the ancestral conditioning, the cultural conditioning, everything that basically exists in the unconscious realm of the psyche, of the soul. And so the spiritual journey is really a spiraling out. It's a rising within yourself out of the entanglement with the density of these patterns that are mixed up in the unconscious realm of the psyche. So in the case of this individual, his life's work is dominated by this movement out of the shadow of judgment through integrity into perfection. So that means that whenever he is in a state of judgment, judging himself, judging other people, judging life situations, the way things appear to be, that automatically triggers all his shadows. But the way he's designed is that his shadow is a judgmental shadow. And so as he improves himself, as he finds his way through the intricacy of his design out of his shadow world higher into his higher senses of consciousness and really comes into his power, he moves into being a being of integrity. And then this integrity becomes perfection. So this individual, because it's a line 6, this line 6 of the teacher, he's designed basically to be a teacher, to be a spiritual teacher. The line 6 is, it's the focus on divinity, it's the focus on God, it's the focus on the higher consciousness, the highest aspect of the spiritual life. And through the journey, this individual can become a teacher. And you see down here as well this evolutionary process again on this line 6 of education and surrender. This is surrendering to this higher consciousness, and it's this movement out of the shadow of opinion, having opinions about things, positionality, getting stuck in that. Again, that activates all the shadows, and so on and so forth, these movements out. So there's some real, this is a very interesting one here. This is the core wound. We all have a core wound. In this case, it's the 59th gene key on this third line. And this 59th gene key is always, is very definitely around the sexual realm. So it's a sexual wound. The 59 gene key can appear anywhere in any of these spheres, but when it appears here, it's usually related to individuals that have been sexually abused, that have had some kind of traumatic sexual experience in their lives. And this individual definitely had. So when you're doing these readings, it gives you insight into the woundology that individuals are carrying. And of course, each soul has a woundology, and these line keynotes give great insight into what exactly that is. So we could, it takes about an hour to do a whole reading, but it's it's a very intimate and deep insight into you as an individual. Down here, this is very important here, this line 2, whatever the line is down here, the keynote, this is the posture down here, and really that's the foundation of the whole thing. So what that means is that if this individual can maintain a postural contact with his own integrity, it can hold his spiritual evolution, the evolution of consciousness. He can consciously hold that while he's maintaining good posture. If his posture collapses, then there's going to be struggle. He's going to be struggling, but that struggle is going to develop perseverance, and that perseverance is going to lead to honor and honorable life. And of course, when you have a core wound that is around sexuality and there's shame involved in that, it's obvious that the posture is going to collapse, or the body is going to mirror this kind of shame thing. It's just fascinating insight into the individuals, and I've done literally hundreds of these readings, and the feedback that I get, it's consistently really mind-blowingly accurate. So there's a little insight into the Gene Keys reading and what exactly it entails. And the wonderful thing about it is it shows how your spirit, the consciousness, spirals into creation through the unique configuration of your soul. And creation has, the energy of creation has a geometry. And so your soul literally plugs into that geometry through these points of contact, these defined spheres of expression in your life. And then because your consciousness gets embedded in there, it literally gets stuck in the physical world, because we think with these physical bodies. but we're not these physical bodies. We're the consciousness experiencing this version of reality through the physical body. And so as we journey within ourselves back into this higher center of consciousness, which is our own spiritual integrity, we get liberated from this shadow world. And that's really where the fun and games begin in life. And a lot of individuals are confused these days about what they want to do in life. You know, their life's work. What am I supposed to be doing here? What's my purpose in life? Well, your purpose in life is to move out of this shadow world in a very specific way. And that's what the Gene Keys gives you that insight into. What is that way? So if you're interested in getting the Gene Keys reading, I would love to do one for you. So get in touch with me, Nick Good, sending you love and blessings from the beautiful rainy day in Bali. Aloha.